We are quite literally living in hell right now. There's no point in setting a joke up with a well-timed punchline here, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. The White House Twitter account is posting AI slop of immigrants being deported out of America. Yes, this is the official White House Twitter account. The same White House and administration that is committed to restoring peace through strength. The through strength part here is important and should come with an asterisk, but it obviously means tweeting something like, "We will find you and we will kill you." This is in regards to a US bombing in Somalia with the claim that we're killing jihadi terrorists who want Americans dead. But Trump would take one look at me and call me a jihadi terrorist, so really, can we trust him? But hey, don't worry, because they're not just posting AI slop that further dehumanizes an already alienated class of people. They're also using AI to make Trump look good, too. President Trump loves the American flag. Flying Old Glory. President Trump hugs American flag because he loves it so much. President Trump looks out to see White House American flag, but there's only one. President Trump rich. He has infinite money. President Trump buy White House another American flag and pet bald eagle. Saji sad. Saji want gun. Saji don't know how much more he can really take. Now, I'm in the process of copywriting it, but "if they use AI, they don't even try" is a phrase I came up with when looking at conservative influencers and pundits who all have something in common, which is that they use AI to sensationalize a topic as well as fabricate evidence for whatever point they're trying to make. Now, unlike a lot of these spineless influencers and journalists, Trump does try. And, well, a lot of immigrants, hard-working migrants, are being unlawfully deported at scarily alarming rates and with a ruthlessness and veracity that really puts the through strength in restoring peace. It's no secret that Trump's ideals for a fascist America in which he is crowned king is coming to fruition. The villainization of specifically brown immigrants, the complete and total federal takeover of DC, the increased hardships of working class people. But what I want to look at today is the method in which the Trump administration has been able to win over so many hardworking Americans through a raw and unfiltered way of speaking that made Trump so unlikable in the first place. Sure, he's a billionaire that eats poor people like you and I for breakfast, but he says it how it is. And we needed someone like that in office desperate. People called him crazy, unpredictable, dangerous. But now, Trump and his administration are using that exact same unhinged personality online to propagate misinformation and manipulate an entire population. And in a wake of misinformation and a rising fascist regime, it's hard to know who to trust. Why would I watch Fox News if the anchorman isn't a fox? What does the fox say? Probably something racist. We're living in a world where information is intentionally difficult to decipher and sift through. We all want to say we're unbiased, but that's simply just not true. When looking through a diluted and confusing pool of news and information, making our best judgment is all that we can do. That's why I use Ground News. If my goal on this channel is to help you think more critically about politics and media, then Ground News is the perfect sponsor. Their mission is to make the news more transparent, so you can see the full picture before making up your mind. That's why I've partnered with them in the past and also in the present. Ground News is both an app and a website that aggregates over 50,000 news sources. Instead of being stuck in a single outlet's bubble, you can compare how different sides report the same story, side by side, with additional context to come up with your own conclusion. For example, this story on Supreme Court lifts restrictions on Los Angeles immigration stops. Left-leaning sources like LA Taco says Supreme Court effectively greenlights racial profiling, permits feds to target Latinos, emphasizing concerns about discrimination. While right-leaning sources like Gateway Pundit says Supreme Court bats down Biden judge, allows Trump to resume sweeping immigration raids, focusing on political victory. Same story, two completely different perspectives. With all of this context, I can better decide which news sources I'd like to consider entrusting with the reporting of this story and stories like this one. And when you look deeper, Ground News shows you that over 60 outlets covered the same story, with an overwhelming amount of coverage from the left and only 30% from the right. This is what they call the blind spot, which is a great feature that itself tells you which audiences are being targeted and which stories certain outlets want to avoid. On top of that, Ground News lets you check each outlet's track record for factual reporting, political bias, and even ownership. That context makes it easier to decide who you want to trust, or at the very least, who you should double check. So, if you want a clearer, more balanced way to analyze your news, then try Ground News today. Subscribe with my link, groundnews.com/Saji, or scan the QR code to get 40% off the Vantage plan, which only comes out to about $5 a month. Subscribing not only gives you better tools to see through the noise, but it also helps support me in making videos like this one. And thank you again to Ground News for sponsoring this channel. The anti-immigrant brigade, specifically, that Trump has run both of his campaigns on, has really taken the focal point of this term, doing anything and everything that they can to villainize and crucify hardworking and well-intentioned people. Because, hey, fascists need a scapegoat and immigrants are usually the go-to. Now, the White House social media team, especially here, is doing an exceptional job at this with posts that are, put simply, memeing the deportations. For people that constantly err on the side of upholding traditional, classy America, it's a surprise how uncivilized and inhumane the social media accounts are. ASMR, illegal alien deportation flight. I mean, I guess they're just saying the quiet part out loud here, which is that idealizing traditional America is just an excuse to treat people like animals. Because traditional America was never classy, it was evil, and it was cruel. Like this goddamn Twitter account. And it sucks, because it's not even good. The Trump administration is running a generationally sinister presidency, and the AI and the memes are not even good. I mean, sure, AI art sucks in general, but just look at this shit. An AI-generated image of Trump as a Jedi, and a caption that reads, "Happy May 4th to all, including the radical left lunatics who are fighting so hard to bring Sith Lords, murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, and well-known MS-13 gang members back to our galaxy. You're not the rebellion, you are the empire." But I guess the Trump administration hasn't actually watched Star Wars because the bad guys use the red lightsabers, and Trump is holding a red lightsaber. How are us radical left lunatics bringing in the Sith Lords if Trump is one himself? This feels like common knowledge and an easy fix for an AI prompt to do, so it got me thinking, who is running the Trump administration's social media? Who is behind all of this madness? Who doesn't know the common knowledge of blue lightsaber good and red lightsaber bad? Well, I did some digging, and I found the man behind it all. His name is Kalen Dorr, which surprisingly sounds like both a Star Wars name and an immigrant name. Two things I guess he despises. Anyway, let's take a look at his thoughts on the memeage.
Well, you know what I love about it, and the beauty of the digital strategy and of the movement we've kind of curated over the last decade, right, is that anybody can do it.
Yes, you've made that clear. Anyone can do your job.
It's been a lot of fun, and I think that's also the most important thing.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. The most important thing for Kalen Dorr and the team of people that run Trump's social media is to have fun. Good to know they're having a great time posting the sinister shit that they're posting. Kalen Dorr is the deputy assistant to the president and White House Deputy Communications Director, so he works very closely alongside Trump. Now, it was hard for me to find information on Kalen or find anything that says he officially runs the White House social media accounts. But fortunately for us, he makes it pretty obvious. His Twitter banner says, "OMG, did the White House really post this?" So I think we can put two and two together here. And I also think that this implies that he's read a lot of the flack the White House social media accounts have been getting. But that's not gonna affect Kalen. Now, Kalen isn't here to serve his feelings. Kalen is here to serve the president, the head of state, the memer-in-chief.
And I think the president is mastered. He is the memer-in-chief.
You got that right. Donald Trump is the memer-in-chief.
Because it's more about like providing tangible things for folks, right? A meme is something you can not hold, but it's something you can send. You don't have to originate, but it speaks and it resonates with you. Mm-hmm. And I think
a meme is worth 1,000 words.
Right,
as they say, yeah.
right.
Yes, our memer-in-chief here gives us something real and tangible. Memes. And we need memes. We need memes more than we need food, more than we need water, more than we need healthcare. I am become meme.
When you are susceptible to being gaslit into believing what's happening in front of your very eyes isn't real, right? We saw this with gas prices. Oh, gas prices are going up. No, they're not. You're shopping at the wrong place.
Yeah.
Or, oh, grocery prices are going up. No, they're not. Companies are price gouging you, right?
And this goes back to the power of the meme, because it's a community building device that says so much more than was actually presented in the picture, right?
Dude.
And that's the material thing that you're talking about.
What? The meme is a community building device that says so much more than was actually presented in the picture? What? Wait, sorry, I have to try to interpret this. The Biden administration was lying about the reason that grocery store prices were going up. Sure, not like they've gotten any lower under Trump, but the meme is what gives us the truth. It lifts the veil of liberal manipulation and gaslighting. I mean, hey guys, the numbers support that.
And the numbers support that.
What? That is fucking insane. No wonder Republicans are banning books when they think that a meme does enough to educate the masses.
A meme is worth 1,000 words.
It's so funny hearing Galen here describe in detail the minutia of his job.
And we would just try to translate that into that ethos into our content. Short clips, things that make you interested in the topic, and people are taking these things and they're sharing them with folks more than they are, engaging with other content, which is very interesting. So I like to think we're arming people with the tools to go start conversations in their communities, kind of exactly like what you said.
He's describing it as something that is so incredibly life-changing and community building when it's just AI-generated images of Trump and ICE agents, but the ICE agents are like alligators instead of humans. Like, there's no way. Kalen's talking with so much passion about his work, and it's just this. Yeah, really take this in. Like, come on, man. There are times where I feel like my job doesn't feel like real work, but there's no fucking way that you think this is real work. Whatever this is. The absurdity of it is genuinely so insane to me. But surprise, surprise, there's always an ulterior motive. And surprise, surprise, it's not using memes to educate the masses. It's actually using memes to spread miseducation to the masses. There's something about the relationship that Republicans have with memes. Memes have evolved so much since the days of top text, bottom text. But for some reason, Republicans only have the brain capacity to make and read memes in that format. Elon Musk loves his memes. Everyone knows that.
I am become meme.
But it's literally like these people are permanently stuck in 2010, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Memes and internet references are community building devices, absolutely. But just like everything else we start to enjoy, it has to be used against us. Doged is a term that conservatives use for government employees or departments that got axed under Trump.
And of course you have these like depressed bureaucrats going to work, sitting on a train car full of MAGA hat wearing 8th graders.
Well, they're scared they're going to get Doge.
Yeah.
Do you think the original Doge would like his name to be used with such malice intentions? No, but no one ever asks what Doge thinks. They just want to use him for his fame.
And the numbers support that.
Again, memes are a community building device. But for community members, for people like Trump and Kalen Dorr, memes are just a way to spread propaganda. One of the administration's first executive orders in office was to take down content censorship. It's titled Restoring Freedom of Speech and Ending Federal Censorship, and was put in place to stop the trampling of free speech rights by censoring American speech on online platforms, which they said was being done under the guise of combating misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation, which is convenient considering the fact that all the Trump administration does is spread misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. Trump is gaslighting the public into thinking there's no such thing as disinformation just so he can do it himself. Now, I don't think that there should be heavy internet censorship either. The UK, for example, is enforcing age checks on different social media, search engines, and music sites in order to prevent children from seeing harmful content. But all this is doing is preventing children from accessing information, and it gives power to the UK government to make the decision on what is harmful and what isn't. The Palestinian genocide is pretty important to be aware about, but the UK's Online Safety Act might disagree. The Online Safety Act, combined with the UK's vague definition of terrorism, could lead to content being wrongly identified as illegal and removed. This could include content that is supportive of Palestine, content that questions or discusses the prescription of Palestine action, and content that supports direct action in support of Palestine. Now, why is this anti-censorship perspective different than Trump's? Well, as we've established, The Trump administration being anti-censorship, although they say is because they want to protect freedom of speech, is actually because they are encouraging the spread of disinformation and propaganda to create a boogeyman for already upset Americans to direct their anger towards. Trump doesn't want to educate the youth about important issues like Palestine, they want to lie to your face instead. And they want free reign to survey and spy on whoever they choose. Like using an AI to scrape people's social media to revoke visa applications of people who have been protesting Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza. Or working with Palantir and spending tens of millions of dollars to support Trump's detention and deportation machine. Donald Trump and the people that work with him like to claim that they are all for stopping censorship and encouraging freedom of speech, but only when it conveniences their side of the aisle. Because this feels like censorship to me. As of early April 2025, at least 600 people have apparently had their visas revoked because of this AI monitoring. I mean, that's what these memes and AI slop posts are for. Not community building, but for community division. The more they get people angry and riled up, the more shit that they're able to get away with. And surprise, surprise, Trump's freedom is actually not one of freedom and memeage. It's actually one of misinformation and surveillance. It's time to take back the meme. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Saji Sharma, and I hope you enjoyed. Huge shout out to the channel members. If you want to help and support the channel, consider becoming a channel member today. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.